Hi everyone, my name is Adekunle Balogun. I would like to share my report on MTN Nigeria Force Call Resolution. Many times we try to reach an organization in order to get our issues resolved, or it could even be we want to just make a simple inquiry. But what happens is that due to some factors, the representative might probably not be able to help us at that time, maybe due to system issue or even lack of knowledge by customer representatives. Then this brings to the fact that we have to call and call and call back. This brings the reason why I'm sharing this important project on force call resolution. Force call resolution is an important driver for customer satisfaction, with the best practice reported at 86%. However, this means that 14% of our customer will still call back in order to get their issues resolved. For example, you call maybe AT&T that you want to make a family plan, or there is a particular billing on your family plan, and then a particular customer service representative could not just get this done for you. Maybe there was a downtime and all of that. Then you begin to call back. It doesn't only affect the company bottom line or operation, but especially you, that you're the customer, you'll be very unsatisfied with the information, or by you calling back several times. So a recent study by Asian Group indicated that 90% of customers measuring force call resolution reported an improvement in their performance. Also, another study by callcenter.com also reported a dramatic fall in call volume, identifying minimum of 20% of calls were repeated from customers that simply needs help. The absence of force call resolution in an organization accounted for minimum of 30% of call operation. So which means that if a particular organization do not effectively implement a force call resolution system, that is in a way that customers' issue will be answered on the first contact, that means 30% of the operational costs will go into this. As I said, this project focus on improvement of force call resolution by MTN Nigeria, from increasing their 65% of force call resolution rate to minimum of 90%. The aim of this report is to simply identify the cause, by some form of analysis, and then, recommend ways to reduce it, and also at the same time increase the try to find out some policies that have been in place that needs to be reviewed, or even factors such as maybe training, or let's even talk about some particular access to a call center agent. For example, many times some agents are not given the right access for them to be able to perform their duties. They have to then log the issue and then send to the back office team for resolution. This takes time, and the customers are, we customers sometimes we don't really have that patience to say, oh, the minimum the SLA for a particular resolution is 48 hours, because we always want our issues to be resolved at that time. So the objective of this project is to reduce the number of calls that comes into the call center, also increase customer satisfaction, the overall operational cost, reduce employee turnover, and also increase cross-sell and upsell opportunity. So it is not only important to say, okay, we want to reduce or we want to increase the false call resolution rate in a way that customers' issue will be answered on false contact, but at the same time, I want us to quickly share this particular information on why it is even important on the side of the organization for their false call resolution to be implemented. Let's say in MTN Nigeria, for example, 100,000 calls comes into the call center every month. Okay, but if a single call costs $35, and let's say if 10% of the calls were repeated calls, this will account for $350,000 in a month, which at the end of the year, it gives us a savings of 12.6 million dollars. So this is very important. That means that if an organization could save $12.6 million for just putting the right process in place, then there is that is going to be a very successful year for that particular organization. $12.6 million, it's enough for us to say oh, this particular organization has done well for the year. Just like in any project, what is our main aim of carrying out this? I mean, how do we define the success of this particular project? Yes, it has to meet the scope, the time, and the cost. Of course, we know in project management, sometimes I mean there is a trade-off between this constraint. But however, there's a particular cost that has been assigned to this project and a time frame which is for 3 months, and at the same time, it has to also meet the time. I mean, it has to meet the scope of the project, which is achieving this overall objective. Okay, we also talk about satisfying the customer at the same time the sponsor, which is the sponsor being the company itself, also reduce the operational cost in the call center, and at the same time improve the FCR, which is the first call resolution, from the current 65 to 95 to 90% minimum. So our mission on this project is to keep the customer service cost low while we maintain a high customer satisfaction. And what is our goal? Our goal on this project is to analyze all the possible calls for repeat calls into the call center, discuss the appropriate approach to improve them. On this project, it has been identified that some of the reasons why we have a low first call resolution is due to inadequate training. We talk about unrealistic average handling time. All of this we'll discuss as we proceed. When I talk about handling times, the 1 minute 45 seconds given by agent to have resolved customers' issues is not simply realistic, because more of the time, before a customer even says anything, we are already on a minute. Then a 45 seconds to resolve or even talk about the inquiry could not be achieved. So for us to successfully implement and manage this project, we have our key stakeholders, which in any project they are always available, and a project manager or a project team will always know who to approach in order to get maybe his or her issue resolved, or maybe particular change in the request or in the along as the project proceed. So on the screen we have this project sponsor, which is Christopher Mackley, and we have the contact number, and also the PMO director Nancy Taylor, and myself Adekunle Balogun, which is the project manager, and all other team members, Kate Green, which is the IBM consultant on IT, and all of that. So in as much as we understand some of the causes of increase in repeat calls, we try to sit down with these agents, and we conducted a survey to find out what exactly do they experience, or what do they think hinder or affect their productivity or their performance on the job. And we conducted, and 100 agents were given a questionnaire to fill. So what we have on the screen now is the key or the top factors that have affected this agent in able to resolve customers issue on first contact. We have access to the right tools, which contributed to 25%, which means that, for example, I do not have the right access for me to even be able to see why a particular customer billing occurred and all of that. Then I have to transfer the call to another person and all of that to the back office, and then this takes a while for the customer's issue to be resolved. Definitely not on that on that single call. Also, another thing is routing these particular calls to the right agent. If we understand our customer, and then their lines or their numbers are being tailored to a particular agent. If a customer wants a data issue or a voice issue or a caller tone, dedicated agents should have been trained in order to manage this inquiry or issues successfully. And also lack of training. Many times agents are not being trained on a regular basis, which means that when a particular product comes out for month of January, agent maybe some of the agents, let's say for example the female is on leave due to maternity and all of that, is probably not aware, and then when she comes, no refresher programs and all for them, for that particular agent to be informed of the current updates on products or services in the organization. This also will, you know, will affect any customer that calls in respect of this, and to be spoken to by this agent. Also, we have motivation. Sometimes when an agent does so well, I think they deserve to be complimented, maybe in form of giving like a recognition award or an incentives, or opportunity to train with some other department. This will increase their morale and all of that. Also, we talked about the average handling time in the other time, which agent tries to rush off the customer in order to achieve this target, thereby customer issue not being able to be resolved. And also access to information. Common information like products and services or sales or promotion should be linked to the company website, such as the intranet, whereby they can find access to all of this information on first contact. On my screen, I have the high level plan, which talks about the key milestone and the target date. Here you see that training of agents, April 25th, creation of knowledge bank. Knowledge bank is the information on the system on the company intranet, whereby agents can find access to it, and all of that, as we can see on the screen. It is also very important to have a communication plan. In this project, based on our stakeholders and the team on it, I've designed this particular communication plan in order for everyone to understand when it comes to a particular issue, how do we communicate. Sometimes we could reveal this if a particular issue need an urgent attention. So for example, we are currently doing the project kickoff meeting, which is to introduce the project team and review the objective and management approach. Of course, this is a face-to-face meeting. And also, I mean, the frequency, which is once, and the audience, the stakeholder, and all of that. What do we intend to achieve in this, our agenda, and the minutes of the project. So I would like to also talk about issue management and resolution. So, for example, during the course of this project, we realized that after a particular application called computer telephone integration was installed, and some other solutions that were installed for this project, we realized that after agents were trained, there were still issues because um, agents could not properly lay their hands on where to find what on the application. So it takes time. This, of course, will not resolve first call resolution rate. Therefore, we have designed an issue management whereby agents will be retrained and retrained, and of course, at the end of the day, there will be a certification exercise to show the level of proficiency of the agent, you know, at the end of the training, so that we can measure. This is also a part of project success, to be able to say, okay, 90, 95%, 98% of agents were able to successfully pass the certification, which means that they are ready to go. Finally, I would like to recommend that MTN Nigeria management, call center management, implement all of these identified um, identified factors that have been hindering false call resolution rate. Yes, this report has been approved by the project sponsor, Professor Markley, to be able to be carried out. Therefore, agent knowledge training is very key. Routing of call to the call center to appropriate agent is very important as well. Information being able to be accessible on the company intranet. All of these should be ensured that at the end of the project, project manager is being evaluated based on all of this. And at the same time, which is another factor, which is the handling time of this agent should need to be reviewed, because currently what we have on the report right now still maintains the 1 minute 45 seconds of each agent to be able to resolve customers issues. Thank you. I'll be glad to receive or to have any questions you may have.